Siski, if Donald Trump becomes president again, it's a nightmare I don't want to live through. Inside sources are saying this is Taylor Swift's stance on Trump becoming president. For her, Trump wasn't just a political figure. He symbolized everything she feared for America, especially for the millions of women living in the country. In fact, the singer has told anyone who would listen time after time that he was the worst thing that could happen to this country.
Taylor Swift, and a picture of her and her cat. She has just posted that she watched the debate tonight and that she is endorsing Kamala Harris because, in her words, she fights for the rights and causes I believe need a warrior to champion them. I think she is steady-handed, gifted leader, and I believe we can accomplish so much more in this country if we are led by calm and not chaos. I was so heartened, Taylor Swift writes, and impressed by her selection of running mate Tim Walz, who has been standing up for LGBTQ plus rights, IVF, and a woman's right to her own body for decades.
When Taylor Swift publicly came out for Kamala Harris's candidacy in the next presidential election, the attacks Donald Trump waged against her became extreme. Swift had never been stingy with words, and she had definitely made it a point to indicate that she looked upon Harris as the leader who would unite people and fight for the rights of women and other othered groups, things always close to her heart. This public endorsement by Swift seemed only to further goad Trump. Trump fired back with personal attacks, calling Taylor out of touch, a liberal puppet, trying to use her followers to politically brainwash them in a barrage of social media and rally posts. He also said her support for Harris was just another celebrity trying to dictate politics, followed by several condescending remarks about her career and personal life. Those were not all the Trump attacks. He also painted Taylor as part of the Hollywood elite that, in his view, undermined the values of real Americans. He took issue with her stance on women's rights, spinning her activism as a veritable attack on traditional values. The insults were relentless, aggressive, and very personalized, it appeared, to undermine all those very principles she had long represented. Taylor batted nothing publicly, but said in a hushed tone to her friends and family that this was a bit unnerving, targeted in a political attack. She didn't back away from the relentless criticism, but continued to mobilize her fans and use her platform to push issues she supported, refusing to be cowed or quieted by Trump's onslaughts. And let's not mince words here. Trump's bizarre attacks against Taylor Swift are nothing short of ridiculous. I mean, really, who picks on a person with one of the biggest fan bases in the world? Taylor can literally affect a lot of people, turning them away from Trump all without hardly trying. Her fans are devoted, and when she speaks up, people really listen. Absolutely 0% makes any sense whatsoever. What would even possess Trump to do this? Does he want to lose the election? Going after Taylor feels like an act of self-sabotage.
This is, I think, the most important celebrity endorsement we've ever seen in a presidential campaign, especially because it is so close and it can make that kind of difference. The Harris for President campaign now has the two most perfectly timed and most important endorsements of this campaign. And it's so important, I think, to the people who are going to be consuming that Taylor Swift endorsement, including those fathers of 8-year-old girls, and that she said, I watched the debate. The timing on it is absolutely exquisite. It is, for someone who's never been impressed by a celebrity endorsement, this is perfect and powerful.
She's huge, and going after her is begging for backlash. It's almost like he's setting himself up to fail. Let's be real. There is literally no good reason for Trump to go after Taylor Swift. He's only upset because she's not team whatever his name is, and that's just so ridiculous, honestly. Like, what does he expect? For everybody to be on his side over all this, despite disagreeing with him? That is so petty. He gets upset because Taylor has opinions. Not everyone will have his back, and just because he can't hack that, that's just embarrassing. What is even more petty is how Trump tried to turn Taylor Swift against her friend Brittany Mahomes, saying he likes Brittany better. Seriously, who does that? He is practically begging to make drama between the two out of nowhere. So, when people ask Trump his views on Taylor supporting Kamala Harris,
out of nowhere, after the debate last night, Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris. What do you think?
Well, I actually like Mrs. I actually like Mrs. Mahomes much better, if you want to know the truth. She's a big Trump fan. I was not a Taylor Swift fan. It was just a question of time. She couldn't. You couldn't possibly endorse Biden. You look at Biden, you couldn't possibly endorse him. But she's a very liberal person. She seems to always endorse a Democrat, and she'll probably pay a price for it in the
Not
marketplace.
only did he say some offensive things, which isn't a surprise, but even veiled threats to boot, like some bad intimidation tactic or something. Comparing Taylor to Brittany Mahomes and saying things like, "I like her better," was just gross. That is when people got shook. I mean, what is the need to bring Brittany into that? She is like Taylor's friend, and he was so obvious that he was just trying to get in some sort of fake rivalry in there. I don't know, it is just high school drama in politics, and it is just so cringy. Instead of, I don't know, working on actual problems, Trump's out here playing these weird mind games like he's still on one of his reality TV shows. Predictably, his fans jumped at calling him out on social media. People said things like, "This is so embarrassing. He's trying to divide women again," or "Leave Taylor and Brittany out of your messy politics." Swifties also came through hard by saying how Trump is trying to tear down women who don't agree with him like some kind of personal vendetta. In the end, it just made Trump look more insecure. How pressed is this man that Taylor Swift isn't on his side, and then dragging Brittany Mahomes into this? Next level petty. He's that poor man who just can't handle women being strong and popping back at him, so he's out here throwing shade to incite some kind of drama. Nobody's buying it, and all it makes him look is worse. Of course, Brittany Mahomes responded. It's no secret she's a Trump fan, but this whole situation is making her go back and forth about publicly supporting him. According to one source close to Brittany, the wife of Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, the attacks on Swift by Trump had deeply bothered her. Taylor is like a sister to her, and she's done absolutely nothing wrong, the source spills. That shook her to her core. Real talk, it's wild that this is even coming for Brittany. She was always in Taylor's corner, hyping her up like the bestie that she is, and now she's been drug into this petty beef. That's huge, considering Brittany also has a lot of followers, and sources close say she has since been asking herself if it's worth the aggro backing someone who attacks her friend. Many fans are still waiting for Brittany to say her piece in defense of Taylor. Love to see Brittany supporting Taylor. We need that energy. Zrania, real friends take up for each other no matter what. It's that kind of thing, where it literally feels like everybody's begging her on the whole to stand up and call the nonsense emanating from Trump for what it is. Of course, we're not sure she ever is going to, but it's definitely a vibe shift. And it just seems Brittany is between a rock and a hard place. Support Trump or go with loyalty to her friend. Whatever she decides, the fact that this has really made her reflect on deep aspects, and fans just love it when this all finally pans out. Well, apparently at the end of it, she will continue to support Trump. But Taylor has made it pretty clear that while she is all in for Kamala, she's not trying to force her friends, fans, or family onto the bandwagon with her. Rather, she wants everyone to do their own research and make informed choices, just like she has. It's like a vibe from her saying, "Hey, respect to your opinion, but I need you to think for yourself." Taylor doesn't want Brittany or anybody that looks up to her to just take her choice, period. She might feel this way, for even though she feels like she is making the right call, at the end of the day, she still understands that everyone has his or her views. She's all for open conversations and respectful disagreements. We can have different political decisions and still be friends. Zrania, basically, that's what she's trying to convey. And honestly, it is so refreshing to see this side of Taylor. She says everything else is not important. The two love and respect each other, irrespective of their different views on some things. They have created a great friendship through mutual ideas, and she is not ready to let it go. And fans are all here for this approach. Comments are coming in across social media like, "Love that Taylor promotes critical thinking. We need more artists like her." And real queens respect each other's choices. Obviously, all Taylor wants is not about the politics. She is all about real connections and raising her friends up, no matter what side they are on. Politically, this all just goes to prove how mature Taylor is with regard to friendship and politics. She's showing that you can support someone without forcing them onto your page. And that's just such a powerful message these days. It's really all about common ground and keeping that friendship strong even when opinions differ. It's Taylor's way of reminding one that, no matter the political view, love, respect, and good vibes can go a long way. And Trump needs to, quite seriously, take note. Now, what do you think? Is Taylor playing too deep into politics? Will her approach with political differences inspire others? Do you even think one can be friends with someone who has different political views than yours? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. If you don't want to miss out on the most burning celebrity news, subscribe to Gossip Grove.